Welcome to another edition of I won't share the source code yet. Got the Python open, made more progress. Uh, so I've, without showing the source code, I basically added chords. Well, two notes. And you can look at from here all the way up is a file I generated. So it took me this number of files to make some progress. So I'll just go over my progress. Let me close what I have and open everything in order because I found some interesting things for the rhythm arrangement. I changed the eligible note lengths to not include 16th notes because that's too fast for a rhythm. And I added another array of note. So right now I have measure lead, measure rhythm, measure alt lead as their own classes for the types of measures. And they have the same variables, arrays of note strings, note frets, note lengths, and those three arrays are how I fill the measures. First, the note lengths, then for each first the note lengths, then a note for every note length. That makes sense. And then the note length has its own calculation, or the note length, yeah, the note length has its own calculation. Then you call the frets and strings with their own calculation. Kind of went over that the last session, showing like don't jump between string 6 and 1. You could jump between string 6 and 4, which I'll get into later. But well, what I mean is it's still possible to have a jump from 6 and 4 to 2, which can still be fast, but that's 3 strings. It's better than 1 or 2 strings jumping that same distance. But regardless, I just want to start with from here up. So you'll see I started having problems with the measures. Like, okay, I got it giving 2 notes. I gave it 0, 0 just to test. Well, I gave it whatever. But it didn't fill the whole measure with notes. Like it filled it with rests. So something was off in the way I was working on it. What it was is the method that I used to write the actual notation. Like the way you write it with Pi Guitar Pro, you have to define the measure. The measure has a voice, and the voice has a beat. Not has a beat, has beats. So measure, voice, beats, and I could go through that in the debugger later at some point, and when I'm ready to share the project. But it goes measure, voice, beats, and then the beats can have notes. So what I had wrong was something regarding that. I figured it out. It's hard to share without going through the source code. But that file I just tried to open up had an error. But the file after that is same thing. Experimented. Okay, remove the 2 chords. I was trying to figure out why this occurred. Like why it didn't fill up. Because I didn't tell the code to do rests. I told it to fill the notes, so it shouldn't have been rests. Like I was debugging it and I was like, okay, it's choosing the arrays correctly, but it's not filling the actual note. So I knew where to pinpoint in the code what's going on. I'm just going through the files of me debugging it, still going through that issue. This one went even worse. I broke all the notation, everything, all arrangements with rest. Same thing here. 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 Next up, got it back to 2 notes, but still a problem. Then same, got it back to 1 note. See, I was pinpointing where it was at. Next. This is where I got the notes to be chosen, I guess, and I started saying, I don't like how this is. This is a note that I wouldn't play. Like 0, I would block off the, well, okay, let me correct that. I think this is when I told it to allow double stops. Like I wrote logic string distance for chord. 1 string away unless allowing 2 strings for, and I ended up changing this, the or statement of either string allowing, like basically this is saying it'll allow the A string and the G string, the double stop, it would allow that. But the way I wrote this, it's going to allow it to be, instead of fingers 1 and 3, it'll be fingers 3 and 1. Like it'll, like, you know, when you think of a double stop, it's fingers 1 A, fingers 3 G. But since I wrote this as a and, or the way I wrote this, because I wasn't sure, previous string, a current string, I wasn't sure which order. I'm used to a clamp function, which would provide a positive, regardless if you're subtracting a larger, smaller number from a larger or larger from a smaller. One of those. But I ended up changing it to just to be one of them, so that way, like, the double stop will be 1A 3G rather than 1G 3A. You know, when you eventually I could reverse it, but my intention was a traditional double stop 1 3. And this one is for 3 strings distance between the D string and the B string. You know, it's a double stop, but you know, that's just how double stops works. When you drop down from the A to the D, you also have to boost the fret range of the double stop from 2 note distance to 3 note, from a B, from fingers 1 3 to fingers 1 4. But same thing. So right now, this code right here, I'm pretty sure it's doing that either or. So like, if I could find an example of it. See, 10, 12, that's expected, but this one's not, right? Because the 12 is the first finger, and the 14 is third. That's the both. I think I ended up just keeping it to this one later on, so that way it's like this. So because it's, in this one right now, it's both, so it has both, but this is the one I wanted, fingers 1, fingers 3. But see this? I don't like this. Finger 1, 10, finger 3, 12. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think that's I don't think that'll be included in the next one. But you can see that's at some point I fixed the notation, so then nope. I think it's more a recent one. I guess it took me kind of some time to figure it out. It was complex writing. Got it a single note to fill out. This is when I found what the cause was, because I put it a single note and it worked in a certain way. Put it back to that, didn't work. And this one was strange because I ended up adding 2 times the notes. You'll notice the measure is 8/4 rather than 4/4. I accidentally added a beat twice. You only have to add 1 beat. The beat could have 2 notes. So I got confused, like I added 2 beats. Yeah, beat could have 2 notes. So yeah, because this is a beat, right? And 2 notes, whatever. Go to this rhythm, same thing, 8/4. This one, look, the time signature is correct, but this one, I think, yeah, this one has, what is this, 16th notes, and I ended up removing it because it's just too fast. Watch, listen to this. Let's see how crazy it'll be. I put just a rhythm. So I was starting to write it to have less fast notes. Right here. This one removed. See the difference? 16th notes, 8th notes, 16th notes. This one's quarter, half, whole, quarter, half, whole. Or not in that particular pattern, but only those note durations, dotted variations as well. I'm brainstorming to have the rhythm written in patterns of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Doing the same chords. Because right now the chords are always random. And this one, I had to fix that because that's another example. Finger 1, 2, finger 3, 3, or finger 1, G, fret 2. Let me say that. Finger 1, string 2. No. See, this gets confusing. Finger 1, string G, 3, fret 2. Then finger 1. See, I ended up having to change this, I think. And then I just put it to 1. Eventually, it gets more simple, I guess. 5, 6. I don't think I put the string distance yet on this one. Yeah, that I didn't put the string distance. I couldn't have. Because I know after this, I did the string distance. Eventually. This one, let's hear what this is. Yeah, I couldn't have, because look at that, 14 to 15, that's not what I wanted. What I'm expecting is 15, 17, fingers 1, 3, which I eventually updated. Let's see the other files, don't have that many more to go. This one might be better. Nope, 2, 3, 0, 1. Let's see what I got next. 0, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2. I like these strange ones on A and E strings like that are 1 fret distance. There we go. This is still bad. It's supposed to be 5. It should be 3, 5, or 5, 7, not 3, 5. This one, 1, 4. That's good. Let's see. This one's good. Good. This one's good. Good. I think this is when I update it. 1, 3. This is good. 4, 6. This is all more playable now. This it's getting there. Let's mute the alt lead and just have the 1 lead and rhythm. Alright, well that's decent, right? It's far better than yesterday's version, which is completely robotic. But this is getting there. Let's see what the next. So that was E Lydian Augmented. Never heard of it. Let's go to D Arabian. Muting the alt lead. Just having lead and rhythm right now. I mean, look at this notation though. Finger 1 on A string first fret, finger 2 D string second fret, that's playable. Transition to 1-3, that's good. 3-4, then 3-3. See, this is good other than if I were to write this manually, I might do more than squeeze this in one measure. Like it would be a pattern. Some of it would be ghost notes. Some of it you would have other stuff. But you would play with these before you transition so fast. So maybe next I could start writing patterns. But it is slowly getting more playable. Okay, I'll put in the alt lead. It's going to be chaotic because alt lead's not really... Like the lead and rhythm, now they both have adjustments on them. But the alt lead is a straight up same formula as the lead. They're going to conflict. Wait a second. What is this? 5/8? No, that's not correct. Hopefully the latest version doesn't have anything like that. Because I'm pretty sure I tuned, or I got that stuff out of the way. Let's see what this is. Mute the alt lead. Just lead and rhythm. Just gotta pause real quick. So I'm allowing open strings as long as the distance between that string and the other string that's being played, or the other note, as long as it's the distance of 1. That's where I'm allowing it right now. Because I don't like... If this was like open 2 strings apart, what the heck would I do right here? X. That's just awkward. It's hard to sight read open strings. Well, it's hard to sight read open strings that are in a chord on Rocksmith. So that's A sharp Chinese Mongolian. Let's try the next. B diatonic. Mute the alt lead. Nah, actually, let's try alt lead. trying to think how to write the alt lead. Should the alt lead take the lead and compare it? Because usually when I write alt lead manually, I make sure that they don't play at the exact same beat. Like usually I do something like, let's see, insert beat. Then I would reduce this and I'll put this to half. I could do something like this. I could have the alt lead, look at the lead, put a note that is shorter in length than the lead as a rest. That way, there will be a note shortly after the lead that the alt lead is. So they're not playing the same beat. Okay, that's B diatonic, C sharp Hungarian gypsy. Muting the alt lead. He's having lead and rhythm. But that's my update for today. GG.